Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, I'm just going to give this Chinese elm a quick pruning. You see there's quite a few long branches on it. I just want to get it back into a bit of shape before it kind of settles down for winter. Not sure if it'll go dormant for winter. I have some that go dormant and others just keep growing really slowly, depending on the weather I suppose, but it's funny how some will go dormant and others don't. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a kind of a quick clean up of all these longer branches so that they don't get thicker and harder and what have you over the winter months. May as well try and tidy it up a bit. This one looks like it's going to shed some leaves anyway. Like I said, some of them shed their leaves and others on the same bench in the same soil keep growing, so it must be individual trees. You can see some of the leaves are just starting to go a little bit yellow in here. Whether or which it won't harm just to have them a little bit tidy. Get rid of any debris that's landed on them. Clear out the branches a bit so you can see into the structure a bit better. So this was another one of these ones you buy. If you watch my videos, you've seen me do quite a few ones that they get at these shopping centres, Tesco's, things like that, where they don't really look after them. They get a bunch of them in, they put them on a shelf and they probably never get watered. They don't get enough light and I'd say most of them end up dying. And they always have, 90% of the time, any that I bought off them all have pretty bad roots. So again, this one had a pretty bad root structure, so I put it over this rock. Can't really see much of the rock now with the moss. I think that's the kind of best thing to do with them when they've got bad roots like that. At least it kind of explains a little bit, maybe, that actually grew with these roots like this because of the rock rather than just having them growing in a pot with all these weird roots. Either that or you have to cut all the roots off and kind of start again, try and replant it as a kind of cutting. Here's a few yellow leaves on it as well. So again, prune to outward facing leaves where I want the next branch to come from. Get rid of anything growing down, anything growing up. Clearing up these younger shoots in here. A lot of crossing branches as well, so I'm trying to eliminate some of them. if they do lose the leaves, then it will give me a chance to go in and just refine the branches. You can see here there's some branches crossing and stuff. I'll wait and see if it loses leaves, I'll do that. But to be honest, I don't kind of mind them too much on these because you can't really see the branches on the end anyway, there's so much foliage on them. But if I can, I'm definitely not going to go in and defoliate them to do it. And it's quite hard to do it when they're covered in leaves because it's hard to see. It's like that. I do like to keep them pruned tight, which gets some massive smaller leaves and shorter internodes. I'm just kind of working my way up the tree, kind of going round and round, working my way up as I go. When it's done, we can have a little look at it and see. Then, is there anything else we need to do, change? That the branches are more or less wired. When they're younger, I wired them into place, and now they're kind of set, the main branches, so now it's just a matter of keeping all these smaller branches pruned up. Once you have the main branches sorted and in place, then you kind of just use clip and grow down to keep them pruned. Again, like I always say, try and work on spacing, creating gaps between the pads. Makes the tree more miniature looking if you have smaller pads rather than big clouds of pads mixed together, joined together. Branch here, just crossing over, we can take that whole off, I think. Could be a lot more fussier with this now, creating lots of smaller pads, but today I'm just basically getting it back into shape rather than doing all the fine details. I'm not worried about them at this moment in time. So I'll try and get it a little bit tidy, ready for winter, and next year we can work more on the finer details. But just for winter we want to have it a little bit sorted. So then I can just forget about this tree for a couple of months, let it do its thing for the winter, whether it sheds its leaves or whether it keeps slowly growing. I don't have to worry about it. I do leave all these outside in the winter. Don't have room to bring them in anyway, but all my Chinese elms stay outside. Most of my trees stay outside, to be honest. So yeah, we don't really get really cold weather here, so a couple of degrees below zeros normally our max, so We do have a really cold winter sometime when I might have to panic a bit, but so far we're okay. It's a nice sunny day today. It's about 8 or 9 degrees probably. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. It's tidied it up a bit. It's ready for its winter rest. Not entirely sure which is the front. The actual tree itself, probably this side might be the better front, but this root here just stops here. Has a couple of small roots come off it. Whereas this side, the roots look a bit better, so maybe this side, but I don't know. Okay, the actual cleanup of all this moss and stuff, I'm probably not going to worry about it. I think it's done in the spring. I'm not sure if I'm going to be repotting this, but if I am, I'll just pick out some of the stuff around the roots just to stop them rotting away at the bark. You see there is a thick root growing here now, so it was just chopped straight across there, but we have a thick root under there, so maybe if that keeps thickening up, then this would make a good front. This root is going down in through the rock. This rock is just an aquarium stone. It's got all stones in it, all stones, all holes in it, so it's good for the trees to be growing on. Moss definitely likes growing on it too. So I'll just clean this back a little bit. Just where the roots are. Leave up here, I suppose. Just to make sure the roots don't rot over the winter. Something else will be staying wet. Root splits in two here. One goes back into the rock, one comes down over the outside of the rock. It's definitely thickening up on it quite good. It's got some webs or something holding on to dead leaves. Yeah, these roots here thicken up quite well as well. Okay, I think that'll be it for this. Cleaned off the roots. Got a bit of liverwort and stuff here. We can probably pick all that out, but I'll just probably do it on off camera. I'll probably just scrape off the whole top layer. But I might just do that outside because it's just going to get more and more messy in here. So I'll just leave that for now and do it outside after I'm finished recording. And other than that, we'll just leave it for now, and it can go back on the bench, and that'll be happy for the winter. So yeah, again, another, what I would say, rescued tree from probably certain death. And like that, it's grown quite big in the last few years. You do get them, they're only quite small, but it's turned out to be a nice enough tree. Even though it has that kind of a bit of an S, which I don't like. I did take a big branch off here, which was probably another part of the S. There's a big chop in there, but that's completely healed now. Yeah, there's another big branch being taken off here. But other than that, it all seems to be growing quite well, and it's looking quite good. Got a little bit of something going on up here. Yeah, so you can turn them into pretty nice trees with a bit of work and a bit of care. So leave it at that. So as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.